So for this next one, it tells us to find the perimeter of this triangle. And so you can see I just plotted the points X, Y, and Z and labeled them. And if you remember, the word perimeter means all the distances together. So we're going to find the distance of this line, the distance of this line, and the distance of this line, and add them all together. Now we just learned two different ways to do this problem. The first would be the distance formula. So you could use the distance formula with this point and that point, add that to the distance formula with this point and that point, and then use the distance formula a third time and add all three of your answers together. Alright, so you can just plug them all into the distance formula. I personally like the Pythagorean theorem method, so I'll be using that method to do it. So I can count over and down, see that this is 2, and this is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so let's call this first side length, I'm going to call it m. So I can say that m squared equals 2 squared plus 7 squared. And I can go through and solve that, and I'd get 4 plus 49 equals m squared. So m squared equals the square root of 53. And I'm going to solve that in a little bit because I don't have my calculator with me. And let's go ahead and solve this side length. I'm going to call this ln. Let's call it n. And this one goes down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And goes over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can say n squared equals 5 squared plus 6 squared. N squared equals 25 plus 36. N squared equals, and I just remembered up here I should probably get rid of that. So it's m is equal to the square root of 53. Sorry about that. And so here we get n squared equals 61. N equals the square root of 61. And lastly, we would just do that for this last point here. So we have 2 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 there. And so let's call this k, just because I'm naming letters here. And so we could say that k squared equals 8 squared plus 2 squared. Alright, see what I'm doing? I'm just using this distance and this distance to find the length of that side right there. And so I can go through and solve this. I get k squared equals 64 plus 4. K squared equals 68. And so k equals the square root of 68. Alright, so I would then compute these ones, square root of 53, square root of 61, square root of 68, whatever they come out to be, and then just add them all together to get my answer.